Thank you. I fucked up, and apparently Windows changed my audio settings without telling me because software is great. I would know because I study software and make it. Nothing is. Alright, so that was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes of me thinking you could hear me, but not. Um, Hi Freya, hi Fel. Thank you for being here, and thank you again for the subs. That's real sweet. Hi Tara. So now that I'm actually like audible, and actually I should check and make sure this is the computer audio's set up too. But yeah, this is the second day of the UC worker strike. We've made national news, I think, a couple times. As the largest academic strike in the country in history. And also, I think the largest strike in the state. Because, yeah, we have, I want to say, 48,000 graduate workers under both of our unions. Hi, Chiaki. So yeah, we have about 48,000 grad workers, and a couple weeks ago we voted 97% in favor of going on strike as part of our contract expiring, because none of us can afford to live in the state we're legally supposed to work in. So I guess to give an overview of what we are asking versus what the university is offering, currently we make $24,000 a year if you are not getting any additional funding from anywhere else. So that's working 9 months of the year at 50% employment. And yeah, so what that essentially means is we are just barely above food stamps eligibility. So that's exciting. And I think the last figure I saw was 70% of us are in rent burden, so we're paying, that's more than 30% of our income to rent. I pay almost half of my income now just to rent, and then another like 100 to 200 for utilities. It's great having half of my income eaten at the first of every month. It's fantastic. So what we're asking for across both the TA union, which is UAW Local 5810, or wait, no, that's the postdoc union. But yeah, what we're asking for across both the student researchers and the TA union is a raise to $54K annual salary as the baseline pay, which is the minimum for cost of living in Santa Cruz, because Santa Cruz has one of the highest cost of livings in the state, and we need to go by that and not some other arbitrary factor. And what we have been offered for this demand is a 7% raise of our current wages, which I said are $24K a year, which doesn't even keep up with inflation. And they have not budged on this the whole time we've been negotiating. And that is how we got here to the largest academic strike in the country. That kicked off yesterday. And if you want to learn more about it, I have the bot doing a link to fairucnow.org, which has more details about the strike. Yeah. It's exciting. It's also very stressful. Because I am not doing funded work, but I'm still trying to keep up on the stuff that actually helps me get a job, among other things. And being on strike is hard, especially because I'm assuming this is going to go on for a while after last time. So this is not the first strike, even in the last 5 years, that I've been a part of. I was involved in the Wildcat strike in 2019. And if you're not familiar with U.S. labor law in particular, most unions have some kind of no strikes clause in their contracts when they sign them. And we were still under contract 3 years ago. But this was a very unpopular contract, especially at my campus, which is UCSC. And mostly because it just did not cover costs of any kind. It was another one of these like 4% wage increases. That basically is not a raise. And so what happened last time was people got fed up enough with the state of that contract that the grad students, specifically at the UCSC campus, decided to go on strike. Actually, after one email got sent, this was originally going to be a much slower type of thing, but once some of the people in the admin, I will not name names for now, but one of the top people in admin sent a very condescending email to the graduate students about their decision to do a demonstration in front of the administration building, which had been called off that day. And yeah, that made a lot of us very, very mad, and basically kicked the schedule forward 2 whole quarters about what was going to happen. So I remember paying attention to that, and like one of the last weeks of instruction, having to tell my students, oh, by the way, I'm not actually going to be giving you your grades at the end of this quarter because we're on strike now. But if you have like financial aid reliant on it, like we can work with it. And that rolled into the next quarter, and basically the beginning of next quarter was mostly a work stoppage. It was still kind of weird. But yeah, so the reason it was a wildcat strike is it was not sanctioned by the union. We didn't have legal protection the way that we do now, because this strike is a statewide union official, fully legal strike because we are out of contract. But a lot of the momentum and will to go on strike now that we have, that is largely thanks to that 2019 strike. Because right before the pandemic hit, we did actually get it to other UC campuses, and it was still kind of a mess because it was a very last minute grassroots, like not well organized thing, but it did spread to the other campuses, and that helped galvanize people for this contract negotiation, which, as you probably heard me talk about, is not going well, and they are not taking us seriously. So this could drag on for quite a while. And as we talked about at the end of the picket yesterday, one of the problems we have as far as doing these negotiations is that the effects of us not working do not manifest very quickly. Because, like, classes can still kind of happen and limp along without us. That's mostly from the TA perspective. From the research side, which is now what I'm on more of, it's a little bit more immediate, but part of the problem is this is the strikes tend to be much more PhD student focused because, like, we're around longer, we have more time to get involved, more time to know what's happening, more time to get hit by the horrible financial stress. So if you're if you're in a lab like mine where there's master students, like, the research won't necessarily totally stop. But yeah, like, we're trying to do at this point basically a full work stoppage, at least for funded stuff. So, like, the things that I am funded on by corporations, those I am not doing whatsoever. My stuff that's, like, my personal research, I am allowed to do it. Oh yeah, research can't normally stop. It's a little different in this situation. Excuse me. And some of this is dependent on how many people are doing the work stoppage. But, like, all the parts of the research project I'm on that I'm in charge of literally can't get done anymore because I am the one person on Earth who knows how it works. And I'm on strike and I'm not answering messages or emails about it. Or adding new features of any kind. And, like, I think you'll see a lot faster hit on the research side because if you're not familiar with the way graduate school works, the faculty aren't necessarily doing a ton of the day-to-day work on research projects. They're basically managing us, and we're the ones doing all the implementation things, all the actual experiments, running all those. So when we stop working, basically the research stops happening. So yes, like you're saying, Fel, we're hopeful that at least on the research side, having all this pressure from us not doing anything will get the statewide administration to do something. That said, they are not taking it seriously. And part of that is also, I think, because Thanksgiving break is soon, and what they're hoping is that sort of bleeds off some of the enthusiasm. We'll see. I don't think it will, but one of the things that we've been talking about too is The willpower to strike at the UCSC campus is extremely high, given, I mean, we literally went on strike 3 years ago against our statewide union. But it's like some of it's also dependent on how much willpower and momentum there is on the other campuses, because things aren't quite as bad at most of them. They're still bad, but we are the campus that has the highest grad student homelessness rate and also the highest grad student food insecurity rates. So that should tell you why we were willing to say fuck it and go on strike without the union last time. And hopefully this time actually going on strike altogether will get us something. And something that the UC doesn't want people to talk about, which means you all should absolutely talk about, is the last time we went on strike here at UCSC, we basically got the equivalent of a 10% raise. It wasn't called a 10% raise, it was called a housing stipend. But now here at UCSC, if you every year you get an annual additional $2,500 as part of them trying to help us not be in horrible housing situations. $2,500 annually is not much when we're paying $1,000 plus a month per rent. But hey, we got a 10% raise out of going on strike and shutting the university down for a couple months. So that's incentive right there. All right, I am gonna play the video game as soon as I change the audio inputs because things got messed up. And let's go. Hopefully the game capture works. And yes, full solidarity. Game capture, you're not working. Fuck it, let's just go back to display capture. That works. Yeah, 10% is pretty good, especially for 2019. And it goes to show you the state that we're in when 10% is nowhere close to enough. And hopefully this all works, because I haven't streamed in a bit. I haven't streamed since I think the strike vote was getting announced. And let me know how the video quality, among other things, is, because I tweaked a couple settings, I put a new CPU in my computer, and hopefully it's looking nicer rather than like stuttery and bad. And yes, part of the reason oh, it's this part of the game, okay. And yes, part of the reason, other than I was already playing Dead Space 2, that I decided to keep going with this game is it is thematically appropriate. We are a horribly overworked engineer who has no real safety standards of any kind in any place that he finds himself. And the real monster of Dead Space 2 is a lack of OSHA and unions.
I'm not sorry about that. So what happens now? I thought you needed Strauss to destroy the marker.
Strauss couldn't lead us to the marker. He was running away from his guild.
What about you?
I'm not running anymore. I know what I have to do. Well, this drill's a stroke of good luck finally. Why don't you get up to the cab and try to get it started? I'll look for the other power cell.
All right. See what I can do from up here.
Oh, hello, Tiny. That missed? Are you kidding me? Yeah, this is what happens when you don't have strong union support backing you. You get necromorph outbreaks. It's great. And you gotta scrounge your money from selling random semiconductors that you just find everywhere. We'll find out Dead Space was written by a time traveler. That could very well be at this point. And I mean, game dev is one of those things that is not unionized hardly at all, and the fights for it, the fights for it have been even uglier than a lot of the other union fights. Like, for example, the union that I am currently in, which is the Student Researcher Union, just got formed at some point last year. I can't remember exactly when, but we're a brand new union as part of the UC, and that's why we don't have a number, unlike the TA union and the postdoc union, both of which have been around for much longer. And actually, the reason we even have the Student Researcher Union in the first place is because the UC managed to convince the state that TAs and graduate student researchers, which is what I am, do different enough work to not fall under the same union. So now they have a third union to bargain with.
It doesn't recognize a new junction.
I think I've got it from up here.
Should be wired from down here.
What? I didn't hear you.
Nothing. Nothing.
And thank you, bot, for the links. And actually, I was just having a conversation yesterday with people about why engineers aren't as supportive of unions. Why are you telling me to go over here? I already got the thing from over here. Did I? Oh, right. I need to do the little mini game. And one of my guesses, at least at UCSC, is we only have new engineering. So we don't have anything like mechanical or... that's always the, like, old school kind of engineering I think of. Like, we don't have civil engineering or... any of the kinds of engineering that are old enough to have like had established professional organizations. And all of our main engineering is connected to computers in some way, all of which kind of came about and came of age in the 70s and 80s, which are like a historical low point for like labor action. Fuck you, tiny, screamy people. Let me go on the OSHA violating drill. There. That's what my baby is for. When you're surrounded... Oh, Jesus. When you're surrounded, just contact beam them.
Alrighty, let's see what this beast can do.
It's a lot of contact beam ammo as we ride the... God. Oh, a triple kill. What? What? What the hell was that? Oh my god, you're still alive? This right here, this is why you need a union. See, I would say that rather than like the necromorphs being collective bargaining, they're more like the universe's admin. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Because I don't know if I will play any Dead Space 3, but the way that the necromorphs are the way that the necromorphs are related to oh no, come back here. I want ammo. Oh God. Oh my God, there's so many of them. Yeah, the thing about this part is you're moving in such a way that it's much harder to keep your aim and like gauge where projectiles are going. Because like I lost most of my health thanks to the frickin' lurkers. Just because, like, even if I can see where... Excuse me. Even if I can see where things are going, I can get moved into them by the drill. Uh-oh.
Looks like we reached the foundation pylons of the government sector.
So how do we get in there?
Straight ahead.
Isaac, you're an engineer. You have a fucking drill. Hi, Autumn. Welcome to the Strike stream. As we see even more OSHA violations.
Well, we can compare bruises later. But at least we made it, right? And this is most definitely government sector. And I'm guessing that marker of yours is behind that huge door over there.
Yes, using their tools for the intended purpose. Who does that?
Alright, I'll meet you halfway.
The beauty of having a tool is to use it in all of the unintended ways you possibly can. I say as I was talking earlier about using my research for things that it was absolutely not intended for, but who cares because it's more fun that way.
Isaac, there's a gunship docked here.
What? Is it damaged?
Not that I can tell.
A gunship. Also, wow, I'm out of health.
You're alive.
One of us is. It's too dangerous for you to stay here, Ellie.
What are you talking about?
Yes, we have cutting tools, but we will refuse to cut through doors. And instead, we'll do everything in our power not to cut through doors. Alright, how am I doing on health? Not the best.
Main power on. Auxiliary systems.
I don't remember where you get the advanced suit. I know it's really late in the game. But I'm also pretty late in the game. Mr. Guilt is deciding to do something else incredibly stupid because of guilt.
It's your best chance, Ellie. You got life support, comms. Hey, you gotta be rescued. I need you to be rescued. I couldn't save Nicole.
Conscience of lead.
So,
Isaac, this is not solidarity.
bye.
This is the opposite of solidarity.
Are you ready to talk now?
Why? So I can let you go too. I can't do that, Nicole. I never wanted to let you go.
A lot happened that we never wanted.
And that's why she's still here, dude.
Touch me,
I don't think that's a good idea.
Isaac, please. Make us whole.
I can't.
What Providence protects you can't, but it ends here. I have 200 armed security personnel. Everything is discovered. Even if
Oh my god, that's so good. Isaac accepts the 7%. That's exactly what this is. So my read of the necromorphs being admin for the universe really fits with that. Oh, I guess I missed the advanced suit. Well, thank you, game, for letting me have it anyways. And now we get the suit on the cover with one of the best perks in the game. Now we got our sexy outfit. With also the biggest like chest display / helmet holder in the entire series. Alright. I should probably get some more health packs. Because we do not live in an OSHA supported place. Well, let's get some more power nodes, because why not? Also, hey, free health refill. Because when you get a new suit, you get healed. See, and the other thing is EarthGov's motivation is kind of weird. The main thing, though, is if we're considering the necromorphs as the universe's admin, EarthGov in this situation is a little bit like the Pinkertons. Oh, fuck. Where are you coming from? Hey, bud. God, there's so many of them. Okay, fuck it. We need to nope everybody. Wow, I somehow survived that. I am kind of impressed. And this is why the advanced suit in this game is so good. Is it buffs your stasis regen? And that was only one large health pack for all that. Where the hell did you all come from? Oh, there was a bench that was stasised. I can't remember how much I upgraded it. I feel like I upgraded it pretty good.
No waypoint. What the hell?
Well, we can go to the bench. That was a nice little bit of dialogue. Hey, the thing that we keep using is broken now. I am not standing down to the Pinkerton detectives. Or the people enabling them. Yeah, they can tell. Okay, I wonder if I was holding a plasma rifle, that they would say, put down the gun. Hey, Bjerka. The spaces are pretty dead, and they're definitely not up to, like, Union standards at all. And the government is really not helping their case for why they should be the government. Because they be helping the necromorphs, which we have Determined are the universe's administration, and that's why they're trying to kill us. It's a lot of necromorphs. And I can't turn the power back on because apparently that breaks everything. Oh wow, that blew an arm off. That's cool. Oh, screw you. Uh-oh. Freaking stasis. Oh god. What? Oh. Uh-oh. The stasis that acts on the particle effects is really good. Alright, we got the explosive for... Oh, Jesus. For all of our room clearing needs. Or Greebly clearing needs. And this is actually a very fitting part of this game to be playing during this, because we're technically government employees. And just because you're a government employee does not mean your boss is actually any better than a corporate boss. Like, you would maybe think, oh, it's the government. They aren't trying, like, they're not entirely interested in profit exclusively. No, they really are. Hi, Jesus. Yes, the man... Oh god, someone is having a horrible day. I'm gonna guess this is you. The most intact and obvious body. Oh, you're not him. Okay. I guess we'll just pile all the bodies in here until we unlock security. Oh, you were in here. It was easier than I thought. which will hopefully be the theme of this strike, which is it will not last forever. Ah, heuristics. The thing that I need to deal with for my research. Yeah, if I'm a little sleepy and out of it, it's because I was picketing yesterday for like 4 or 5 hours. And as much as strikes can be fun, and they certainly can be, they are in fact work still. Oh god, we're... One of the other things I'm noticing, which probably says something about the state of things in this game, is that we're in the like EarthGov security sector. And a lot of the necromorphs now are wearing like EarthGov security equipment. It is not in fact making them any harder to kill, and in fact they're some of the easier necromorphs to kill. And that's some food for thought about the government potentially skipping out on resources in this hyper-capitalist neoliberal hellscape. It's great. Just like reality. I have so much ammo. This means I will probably need to use all of it. And also, just again, the fact that me as this engineer here, we have to open these malfunctioning doors with our own money and our own resources. Because we aren't allowed to have, like, infrastructure. Oh god, you're right in front of me. Jesus. Yeah, exactly. This is way more like teaching than I think anyone wants, aside from the people paying teachers. Because it's not about being like a good institution for what you're supposed to do. It's about making money. That's the real lesson here. Is it's about making money. Oh, I could just get all of the duration. Okay, do I upgrade stasis or do I upgrade the rest of the contact beam? I think I'm going to go for the duration on this because because it's an infinite power and therefore a little bit more consistent. Yeah, although I think as we discovered last stream, the stasis on the contact beam isn't actually affected by your stasis modules. Yeah, stasis is like general crowd control. Yeah, I know when to use over there. God. Oh, that missed. Damn. Okay, that got way more of them than I thought. Alright, stasis duration was good for that. And there were way more... There were way more stalkers over there than I realized. I guess we can start using the contact beam again. Are you all dead? necromorphs are supposed to be dead. They present basic living reflexes, like extending their arms to break a fall. Yeah, I don't know how much of that is like an intentional thing, or how much of it's just like that's what we expect. Yeah, it could be a mocap thing, or it could just be like a general readability thing. Using ammo like God intended. Is there a store near here? There's a store forwards. Well, maybe I'll come back and grab the 3 contact beam ammo. And maybe I'll forget about it.
What is that? I can feel it in my head.
We're getting closer, Isaac. The marker knows you're here.
I still don't know what to do.
When the time comes, you will.
This right here is why you need collective bargaining, regardless of the profession you're in. Because if you are a single individual going to deal with the big apparatus of admin, you're gonna have a real bad time. And you're alive, aren't you? Well, not anymore.
Crap. Looks like I have to delve.
Oh, thank you for the tip, Tara. That's real sweet. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now does stasis work on this thing? No. So this is a just run for it thing. Yes. Almost everything takes more than one person to do, especially creative stuff. So the single auteur thing is not great, if I do say so. And I say that as someone who my academic publishing world is very adamant that at a minimum, if you are a researcher, especially if you're a grad student, that anything you author at a minimum has your advisor on it too. And that is because they are the ones giving you funding for it and all that other stuff and support and usually editing, depending on like how involved they are. So yeah, in my field, computational media, it's pretty rare to see a solo authored paper. They do exist. And sometimes they're a product of like faculty members doing their personal research and publishing on it, which, depending on the kind of lab you run, isn't necessarily something you're doing. Yes, I am currently the only person who knows how my research works. And I would like that to not be the case at some point. My goal is, in fact, to have tons and tons of other people using it. But that takes time, and also showing people how to use it ain't something super fast and easy, because making anything takes forever, and especially making something with weird experimental technology goes even slower, even if you're not the one designing it and building it from scratch. This is lovely. Please make you smart enough to understand computer. I mean, the basic thing is computer bad. Computer, like, cause of many problems. Oh, this is a fun thing from Last Strike. So, because, oh god, where are you? God, that's so much ammo everywhere. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we sometimes joke about programming being like witchcraft and other stuff, but you are writing strange things in a made-up language that gets interpreted by a weird eldritch monster who you can't really know how exactly it works. And that leads to video game. And I say this as someone who has taught assembly language, which, if you're not familiar, is like the really eldritch horror way of talking to a computer. Because that is basically that is telling the computer where to put information at a very detailed low level. Alright, we have enough ammo for this thing to hang on to it for a while. Yes, the ancient tongue. The ancient tongue that you don't quite need anymore. I want more space. Oh god, where the fuck are you? Complete overkill, but we got surplus. It's okay. Oh, fuck me. Oh god. Okay. Let's get us the health pack. And hopefully the contact ammo. Oh yes, that was a whole thing of there not being enough people who understand Cobalt to actually, like, do things and keep them functional. That was a time. Also, the thing with modernization is it doesn't always actually help things. Because it's some of it's like, do you want this thing to run on the same, like, glitchy stuff that we all use to make, like, silly things that don't have to work perfectly? Not that, like, you can guarantee things will ever work perfectly because computers are so freaking complicated. It's almost impossible, no matter how well you build them, for them to be totally flawless. Okay, I don't need all of that plasma ammo. I need contact beam ammo, and this sure seems like a boss fight.
I blacked out early last night and woke up this morning staring at a tiny, fully formed version of the marker in one of the crystal layer printing baths. I had entered the entire heuristic sequencing algorithm. I can still hear it in my ears, like a song now. I know the potential suppressors are working, but this is something entirely different.
Wow, that took, like, most of a clip. Big boy. These guys are like, these fellas right here are like the riot cops that the admin sends your way when they don't like what you're doing. Yes, fellas. You got me. You got me liking that word quite a bit, dear. But yeah, these fellas, are more like your fully kitted out riot cops who really don't like when you do anything. And they're who admin sends your way when you disrupt things and you're the only people disrupting things. I don't know what it's like at the picket today, but I was genuinely surprised when we got there yesterday and I didn't see any cops. And I'm not sure how much of that has to do with what happened last time, which is they got a shitload of bad press for roughing up grad students and arresting them and all that. And how much of it is there are literally no spare cops anywhere because all of the campuses are on strike, and therefore they all want their cops around. I'm also guessing that the counties aren't willing to send them more cops because we also had, at the Wildcat strike, we had like Alameda County cops hanging around and trying to arrest people and threatening to beat people up, and I think at least on a couple occasions actually beating people up. That was not a fun thing to be around. But yeah, like, this time things are a lot calmer, and I'm gonna guess they won't completely stay that way, but again, this being a union sanctioned thing and more generally going through like legal channels and there being a run up to it, I hope that this actually like stays chill, because I mean, unless something happens, like the thing that we're doing is walking around an intersection with pickets and chanting. We are not blocking traffic. We are not doing things that are as disruptive as we were doing previously. But when is that stopped? Admin and people who are managers from calling the cops on you anyways. Because they don't like collective bargaining. The fact that they are stalling us on contract negotiations is annoying. And one of the things that we've had for quite a while... Oh, that's a big marker, all right.
Oh my god. I feel dead.
Oh, hell yeah, programmer grandma. I think, Chiaki, I think you told me a little bit about her, and she was super cool sounding.
Convergence is at hand.
I knew you from the start, but they told me you were necessary. That your mind was the purest. I spent years sifting through your demented brain. This is not the way it was supposed to happen.
Well, how was it supposed to happen,
We
Timon?
had it under control. Clark, this is not our fault. We are so close to understanding it.
We were so close to that that executive bonus.
But we never expected this many bodies.
What the hell's it doing?
What it was made to do.
Well, this is new. He didn't put his helmet back on. That's an ominous sign. Yeah, we are at the big content warning for eyeball poking. So if you don't want to see what happens when you literalize the nursery rhyme about sticking a needle in your eye, maybe go off of the maybe minimize stream for a little bit. Oh yeah, they've been yeah, this machine has been foreshadowed the whole game. And like many great moments in video games, you didn't think it was going to be so literal.
Working together.
Step 4.
Yes. Are you ready?
This is gonna hurt, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Strauss sure was telling us everything that was going to happen. And
Step 2. The screws so tight.
here we are doing it.
Out to die. Stick a needle in your eye.
This is one of the most, even when you do this right, this is the most like tense part of the entire fucking game. Because unlike every other part of this game, you are not quite in control, because our boy here doesn't look straight ahead the whole time. And as you might expect, as you get closer... God, I haven't done this in a while. And fuck is this disturbing. And I mean, human beings are... generally pretty protective of our eyes because we're sight-based organisms by default, and anytime you start messing around with people's eyes, it gets a lot. Even when you do it right, fuck. Yeah, I had to look away at that. I'm usually not that squeamish when it comes to horror. But yeah, oh, I see I'm floating above the bottom now, over here, after an hour and a half.
I'll be waiting for you at the marker.
Sorry, dear. Again, dealing with admin can be like that. Yeah, I've never been interested in wearing contacts. Oh, hi, it's our buddy, the Regenerator, who we will slow down a little bit. Oh, stasis does not last as long as it used to. screw you, you piece of garbage. Yeah, I don't like the idea of wearing contacts much. Because, yeah, I don't want things too close to my eyes. That is a very bad time to me. And here we have what happens when your union does not actually care about negotiating contracts. So at the beginning of stream, I mentioned that 3 years ago we had a non-union strike where we, the campus, like we UCSC campus, went off on our own and did a strike. And part of that was because the union rammed through our previous contract over the summer without much in the way of negotiating, because one of the nice things about being part of the UAW is we get things like strike pay for basically doing what I'm doing, which is not working and picketing. And as long as we're doing that, we get some financial backing and legal protections. But the problem is that the UAW is primarily incentivized to do things like negotiate contracts. So unfortunately, their incentive structure makes them much more likely to accept not especially great contracts, because that's how people in the UAW move up in the world. So you get problems like that. And that's one of the reasons we had a wildcat strike, and why things like more democratic union elections are not something the UAW likes, because they are more likely to lead to strikes, because the locals will elect more radical people, as we've done in this case. Because, yeah, again, one of the problems you have is the UAW incentive structure does not always match worker incentive structures, which is unfortunate. But also, I am lucky in that I can complain about the union and I have a union to complain about. There we go. Instead of no union and even worse conditions. And I mean, I can say that part of the reason I'm even still at UCSC versus another institution is because of the union and what having the union can fuck me. What having the union helps with, including because, like, one of the other places I could have gone, I would have had to pay part of my health insurance coverage. I'd have less health insurance coverage, among other things. And I'd be paid less, even if my cost of living would be marginally lower. The fact that I'd still have to pay for some of it and being paid less really did not help. Whoopsies. So California is a right-to-work state, from what I remember. Ow. Oh, you're over there. Yeah, California is, from what I remember, right to work. Most states in the US are, from what I can remember. Yeah, California has some nice things and a lot of very bad things about it still, unfortunately. Alright, we're chewing through resources now. Now we're in the end game. We could have stopped being a right-to-work state. I'm not sure, but my memory is that California is still a right-to-work state. Or at a minimum, we do have at-will employment, even if, as Elon fucking Musk has found out, that we do have some protections. They're just not as good as they could be, but they're certainly better than nothing. Yes, and if your state is gonna not be right to work anymore, that would be fantastic. Oof. Federal decrees for right to work. That's not fun. Alright, I think I'm doing okay on ammo. Yeah, that really sucks. I'm sorry for you and everyone in your country. Okay, we're only at will. We're not right to work. That's my mistake. Oh, right. You have, like, a cool president now. Or a cooler president.
This is it, Isaac. Convergence is almost here. Meet me at the marker.
Oh, well, I was right that this will be like a 2-hour stream, because I did not have that much game left. Oh my fucking god. Hey, Top Viper. What the fuck was that? Where the fuck did that come from? I don't know. I need ammo, is what I need. Oh, you're up there. Okay. Time to fucking run. From our anti-union friend over there. So yes, if you're just joining us, or just joining me, I am finishing up Dead Space 2 as part of my picket duties for being on strike at UCSC. Yeah, we decided earlier that, oh my god, you're still freaking alive. Yeah, earlier it was decided that, the necromorphs are the universe's admin, much like the university's admin are not especially interested in workplace safety or other things, really. Or like healthy work environments. Because they want to pull shit like this all the time. Why you gotta be like that? Yeah, floating limbs can be a bit of a danger. We need the universe's admin. They are what make us survive. Way to scab there, buddy. We do not, in fact, need the universe's admin. With all of the terrible, terrible raises that they take. Yeah, if you go to fairyucsc or fairyucnow.org, one of the things we have up there is we have some statistics about who is getting paid a lot, and I think one of the things that recently happened was ow. Stop being a scab. Yes, we need gentrification to redevelop our shitty neighborhood. Oh my god, I missed. Incredible. Yeah, I should have probably put a content warning. I guess I wasn't thinking about it because this is a horror game from like 2011, 2012. Hey, you know the main menu?
Yours is the last body we need to be reborn. The makers must be absorbed.
The makers? You mean me? But Strauss said we can destroy the marker.
Not if we consume you first.
God damn it, I trusted you. Fuck you. And fuck your marker.
This is what happens when you get radicalized. Exactly. Fuck you and fuck your admin. That whole final boss fight sequence is yeah, the process of being radicalized. You shoot the representation of admin in your head, and then you shoot the thing that admin is supporting, which is a lack of solidarity, and you kill both of them at once, and then you're in the Union and have solidarity for real. That's my read of this. That is my UAW inspired take. Oh no, Yashike. I feel like reading this game's ending is like solidarity. is something is already doing the Yashike.
Now move your ass.
Wait, no, Ellie, it's too late. Set clear the station.
Yeah, well, you don't really have a say this time. Heads up.
And exactly, Ellie has got solidarity. Ellie is gonna prevent us from being crushed under the weight of admin exploiting us horribly. So we have the like symbolic end of, we have the symbolic boss fight that's a pretty like fun. Ow. Wow, that was the second time I've died. In the part that you're not supposed to die in. Incredible. Good job, me. Because I'm reading chat and fucking around and talking about solidarity while large chunks of debris are flying around. There we go, take two. Look, I'm not good at Space Harrier. So, solidarity is what lets you escape the crushing destruction of admin's monument to your own exploitation. That's my Union card read of Dead Space 2. And we got our nice little callback to the shock horror end of Dead Space 1 there. So yeah, that was Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 Ending Union Edition. Oh. Yeah, gosh, I'm tired from picketing yesterday. And right on cue, the bot puts the link up for if you want to hear more. Oh, hey, NPC dev. I'm glad you stopped by, even for the last little bit. Solidarity is right. Yeah, we got to the end as part of my second day of being on strike. Yeah, biggest academic strike in the country. Possibly the biggest strike in the country. And I'm advertising it on Twitch as part of being on strike. And trying to play thematically appropriate games. Because, yeah, I mean, part of me reading this as, like, union-related stuff is a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's not all tongue-in-cheek. And, yeah, I mean, if you are someplace that is fighting for a union, like, all the power in the world to you, solidarity, because, like I said a little earlier, part of the reason I'm still at UCSC is because we have a union for grad students, and we can somewhat safely go on strike because of it and try and get a living wage. Because, yeah, people shouldn't be homeless in general, or starving in general, but especially not if they are working for the largest employer in California, and being a huge part of the reason the University of California is a prestigious public university. And really one of the things this comes down to is who gets to be a part of higher education, who gets to be a part of academia, because some of the things that aren't just strictly wages that we are bargaining for are like additional funds for childcare, and more just general support for marginalized people who are not independently wealthy, because we are technically a public university, even if we're run like a fucking corporate entity now. One of the stated purposes of the University of California is providing education for anyone in the state. And as part of that, they should be paying the people who do the educating, do the research, like they should be paying us enough to live in the state that they are very adamant about we are supposed to live in to work for the university. And they will, in fact, charge us extra for not living in the state. So, you know, they should be paying us, at minimum, enough to survive in the state that we work in, for the state government that we work for. And it shouldn't require you to have pre-existing wealth to get a graduate degree. You shouldn't be punished, even quote-unquote unintentionally, for being a parent who's in grad school doing research. Like, you should be able to do that and not be in dire financial straits for any of it. And yeah, I mean, that's really that's the ultimate point of all this. Like, we all obviously want to get paid more, but it's also, who does the university serve? What is the point of higher education? Is, like, we believe that higher education is for everybody. The university admin doesn't seem to think so. And some of that might have to do with how they talk about the way we get paid, because we theoretically can get paid, I think, up to like $60,000 or $70,000 a year. The catch with that is none of us are ever appointed full-time. Because if we're students, we are supposed to only be appointed for half-time. So all the figures that you see, because like my salary is publicly available, all the figures that are publicly available for TAs and graduate student researchers, those you all have to cut in half or cut into quarters to see what people actually get paid. Because none of us are allowed to work 100% appointments outside of summers. So like if you're focused on like academic work over the summers, you can be fully employed and get your full rate depending on like department funding and lab funding and all that kind of thing. So you're allowed to do that over the summer because it's not student time. But doing that for 3 months doesn't amount to the, the like 50% extra we theoretically make at our pay steps annually. Now I'm gonna get some water. So I've been talking and I was shouting a lot yesterday on the picket. Oh yes, stretch too. Stretch. Oh. There we go. Did not like me putting my hand in front of the camera for a second. Yes, check and how little a nick is a treat. Yeah, clearly we don't, clearly we only work 20 hours a week on stuff we should get paid for. And yeah, it's not like our publications that are just for personal research don't also benefit the university in some way and bump up their stats, bump up their name recognition, all that sort of thing. Oh no. Discord, stop being a scab. Yeah, God, the strike pay thing has been so confusing. Good luck and thank you for doing that. Cause yeah, it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's like we sign things and then that tells the UAW about like needing to process things for us, but it's like I did the remote one like weeks ago and I think it was either the wrong form or I got skipped or something, and I filled it out yesterday at the picket, but it's a weird time. It's a weird time, and like as planned as this strike is, it's still coordinating a massive amount of people over pretty significant distances.
This is Flight Team EG9 to Control. We have completed the flyby. There's nothing left. I repeat, Titan Station has been completely destroyed. And the marker? Negative.
Hi, TC.
Marker the other sites will have to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, this is the end of Dead Space 2. I could potentially go on a little longer because this wasn't quite as long as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, so part of the other problem with, I think, UCSC in particular is, and this comes back to what we're fighting for, because of how horrible the housing market in Santa Cruz is, we can't, like, a lot of the grad students don't actually live in Santa Cruz at this point. And if we're gonna like strike in person on main campus, we have to commute there, we have to carpool, we have to coordinate all this stuff. And it's only gotten worse as the pandemic's progressed because people moved home when they were doing everything purely remote. Because, like, why spend $1,200-$1,400 on a shitty apartment when you don't need to be in Santa Cruz? So there's still a bias towards like union stuff being in person, and I totally get it, but also it's not reality anymore. I mean, it's because, one, people can do tons and tons of things virtually now, but also just the reality of the living situation in Santa Cruz is such that a lot of us can't live in Santa Cruz, or, like, at least in our department, part of our department exists over in San Jose, which is like where my office is. And that means as much coordinating as people do, a lot of like the realities of things can slip through the cracks because of just how bad everything is, really. So let's see. Is there something else to do to make things go a little bit longer? What do I have installed? Because my plan for the rest of the week in terms of doing these, yes, I have signed up for strike pay. I did that yesterday. So you don't have to spam me about that. But because I found out that if I'm doing the morning virtual picket line and then doing this, doing these streams, that counts as 2 different shifts. That has changed my plans a little bit because I do also want to try and like write this paper that I've been working on before the conference deadline. So I might not stream every day this week because I've done 3 out of my 5 shifts already. But the game that I'm planning on streaming next for the strike is Hardspace Shipbreaker. I don't want to start that right now because I'd like to start that fresh. Oh, thank you for the follow, Vexed Vivienne. Well, we'll see how long, if I have something else installed. Oh, thank you for the follow, NPC dev. Let's see, how long will this take to download? This is 10 gigs. Shouldn't be too bad. Wow, I love being able to download something at 77 megabytes a second. Yeah, I can thank one of my friends for playing Hard Space Shipbreakers and reminding me that it exists. Because yeah, when she told me that, it was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm planning on doing strike streams because driving over the hill every day to go and picket is a lot, because like it's an hour driving each way over one of the most dangerous highways in the country. So I'm less than thrilled about doing that constantly. Wow, I love having real internet where this 10 gig game is already 50% downloaded. So I think I will at least play a little bit of Dead Space 3 to continue the stream a little bit longer. Download progress stream. Oh, I do not miss 90s internet speeds. Yes, oh no is right. Dead Space 3 is relevant for multiple reasons other than the fact that it is another Dead Space game that has a through line. Progress Quest is good. But yeah, I think playing a little bit of Dead Space 3 just to like cap off this stream is fitting because I mean I am a unionized game developer in a very vague sense of that word. I am in a union, obviously, like you can see my unions up behind my head. But like I'm not in a game developer union. And dear God, does the industry need unions, because you'll get shit like Dead Space 3 happening all the time, still, constantly. Because the workers don't control things, corporate controls stuff. What were those sounds? I am not sure. Hang on. Well, let's try and be back. um, that was a little loud for my PC. Doing anything, because I mean it's also like exactly the temperature I would expect for playing a game and streaming at the same time, which is 79 to 80 degrees. Might be my backup power supply doing something, like I was saying in chat, because I haven't had it through that many power outages, and they tend to yell at you a lot that something is happening. So yeah, let's try this again. Hang on, let me move myself down slightly. There we go. Yeah, it was very loud, much louder than I've heard from any computer I've owned. And I don't think my motherboard has a I don't think my motherboard has a speaker on it. And I mean, I opened it up, the fan was going, not at like full blast or anything. It's running at like 80 degrees Celsius, which streaming at 60 FPS, like, Huh. Well, let's not do that. So I might just call it for today. 'Cause yeah. So I'm not using the computer is protecting me from playing this game. So I'm not using the motherboard's temperature monitor. I'm using my CPU softwares. And so right now it's at 82, having shut the game off. I'm going to turn the game back on and see what it does. And it could be power draw. It's true. Because this CPU is capable of drawing more power than my old one. Huh. So yeah, just going by what it was when that sound started, it could be it's not happy when it's going to like close to 90. Yeah, I am not quite sure. Because, like, when it started, it was at like 85, which to me seems normal. Yeah, it could be power draw. Because let's see, my old CPU. Yeah, let's see. My old CPU was. Okay, so my old CPU was a 95 watts. My current CPU is a 105 watt. That shouldn't have changed very much. But yeah, I should probably call it and see what's going on with it later. Or I should say offline. So it's not beeping right now, which makes me a little bit skeptical if it's the power supply, but it could be. It could be complaining about power draw or something. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it and try and figure out what's going on in a bit, because it's got new hardware in it, so there sure could be some stuff going on. And this is the first time I've tried streaming with the new hardware, and I bumped up things like the bit rate and also the frame rate, so maybe that has something to do with it. This is the first time I've heard any beeping around my computer in a very, very long time outside of a power outage. So, yeah, I will try and figure out what the hell's going on. And thank you all for coming to this picket. You made it fun. I hope it was a good time for you, minus all the weird, scary beeping. Yeah, and I'll be back at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, because I need to figure out when I want to do my work, but I will announce it places. And yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out, and happy strike, solidarity. Unions are good, and I will catch you all later. Bye.